NASA's James Webb Space Telescope has hardly opened its eyes, and the universe is new.
The world's largest and most powerful space telescope has revealed unprecedented views of Jupiter.
The observation made by the James Webb Space Telescope has dramatically reshaped the scientific community's comprehension of the universe and its complexities. Capturing what appears to be an intentional, intelligent object passing through the asteroid belt has opened a window into phenomena previously relegated to theory and speculation. The event began with a subtle anomaly detected by Webb's infrared instruments, noting an unexpected fluctuation in a cold section of space devoid of recorded bodies. Initial observations ruled out natural explanations, as the object exhibited a smooth, elongated form that defied identification as an asteroid, comet, or space debris. Its temperature readings were inconsistent with any known natural formations, and its movement was highly specific, not obeying the gravitational norms familiar to planetary scientists. Its deliberate path through a hazardous zone of the solar system without collision, coupled with a velocity far exceeding typical objects in that region, immediately categorized it as something extraordinary. Infrared analysis further indicated that the object's material composition was unlike anything cataloged. Alloys found on its surface did not match known periodic table elements or terrestrial manufacturing processes. The structured and highly symmetrical crystalline forms suggested that the object was manufactured under conditions of extreme pressure and heat outside the capabilities of current human industry. Its design reflected intentionality on every level, from its aerodynamic shape in the vacuum of space to its surface ridges precisely etched with nanometer accuracy. The object maintained a linear trajectory with unchanging speed, completely unperturbed by the gravitational pull of Jupiter or the chaotic environment of the asteroid belt. What truly set this encounter apart was the unique way the object interacted with its surroundings. As it moved, subtle shifts in space itself became apparent. Tiny fragments of debris, small rocks, and dust were displaced in ways that gravitational force alone could not explain. The resulting disturbances resembled phenomena theorized in exotic physics, where objects manipulate space through means other than mass. The James Webb Space Telescope's imaging showed visual distortions around the object, similar to gravitational lensing, but arising from unknown causes. Light didn't simply reflect off the object, it was displaced and rerouted, resulting in shimmering effects and shifts in stellar backdrops, as if the object warped space as it moved. Deeper investigations revealed even more perplexing behavior. The object emitted periodic bursts of radiation in tightly focused beams that were too structured to be random, yet lacked conventional markers of mechanical signals. These emissions pulsed in irregular but deliberate intervals, hinting at complex internal processes or possibly communication attempts meant for unknown recipients. Additionally, the object demonstrated a scanning capability during its journey. Near a dense cluster of carbonaceous asteroids, it projected a microwave sweep across dozens of bodies, triggering reactions within them. These reactions included minor heating effects and reflective changes, suggesting activation of dormant internal structures previously thought inert. The precision and scale of this action implied that the object was interacting with the asteroid belt not merely as an observer, but as a catalyst unlocking hidden properties within specific rocks. The object's departure was as seamless as its arrival. It exited the asteroid belt without leaving any debris or traditional energy signatures behind, yet it had noticeably altered the physical environment of the solar system. Subsequent monitoring of planetary magnetospheres, radio frequencies, and solar wind behavior revealed lingering disruptions along the object's route. Even after it vanished from direct view, its influence persisted. Several instruments recorded gravitational ripples and spatial distortions long after the object had moved beyond visual detection, showing that the event left a lasting imprint on the fabric of space itself. Speculation grew as scientists analyzed spectroscopic data from the event. The object's surface exhibited perfect energy absorption and re-radiation properties, surpassing known materials by orders of magnitude. The ridges along its length vibrated at precise frequencies, acting like tuning forks across the electromagnetic spectrum. This suggested that the object wasn't just a vehicle, but an active computational system designed to sense and process environmental information at both macroscopic and quantum scales. It didn't just travel through the solar system, it interacted with it on every possible level, reading gravitational waves, quantum fluctuations, and possibly even the density of dark matter itself. For decades, theories about interstellar probes sent by advanced civilizations had speculated on their capabilities, but this object shattered expectations. It neither neither displayed propulsion systems nor communicated in any recognizable fashion, instead moving through the system with an eerie, quiet purpose. Its route through the asteroid belt was no accident. It appeared optimized for minimal interaction with inhabited planets, suggesting it followed a long-established corridor known for its relative emptiness and observational potential. While it left planetary bodies untouched, it manipulated the belt's materials, perhaps leaving behind encoded information or preparing for future interactions. Ground-based observatories and other spacecraft began reviewing historical data, uncovering faint ultra-low frequency pulses preceding the object's arrival. These signals were initially dismissed as background noise, but later revealed a pattern aligned with the object's trajectory. This indicated that its approach had been methodical, scanning gravitational equilibrium points throughout the solar system. Even more unsettling was the observation that gravitational and electromagnetic fields shifted ahead of the object, contrary to physical laws as currently understood. It seemed to precondition space in front of it, moving through the universe by reshaping the environment ahead of its path. Such behavior pointed toward mechanisms far beyond known propulsion methods. Instead of thrusting through space, the object may have been utilizing higher dimensional motion, interacting with space-time itself. This possibility turned the observation into something far more significant. Rather than simply detecting an object passing through the system, humanity had possibly witnessed the first physical evidence of space-time manipulation by a technological entity. As quantum physicists began to analyze the secondary data, they uncovered additional anomalies. In regions where the object had passed, quantum noise levels dropped, electrons displayed brief stability, and photon paths shifted subtly. These observations suggested that the object emitted a field capable of suppressing quantum randomness, perhaps for computational purposes. More remarkably, it appeared to operate as a quantum computational device itself, with its hull and structural features serving as quantum sensors and processors. The object may have been navigating by reading the universe's most fundamental signals, processing environmental data at levels far beyond current human capability. Throughout its passage, subtle but undeniable interactions with the solar system accumulated. At the time the object passed, Earth experienced minor isotopic shifts in its upper atmosphere, detected in deep ice core samples and characterized by rare bursts of radiation. The Moon and Mars also recorded vibrations and resonances, with seismic and geophysical instruments capturing unexplained low-frequency harmonics that matched across all three bodies. These vibrations bore mathematical relationships akin to musical intervals, hinting at an intentionally coordinated signal that resonated through planetary interiors. Additionally, distant pulsars, nature's most precise cosmic clocks, exhibited slight timing deviations along the object's path. These changes could not be explained by gravitational lensing or other known cosmic phenomena. The deviations suggested that the object had altered the refractive properties of space itself, creating transient corridors through which energy and signals were subtly rerouted. Observatories recorded these effects across multiple observation points, indicating that its influence extended well beyond the immediate region of its passage. Voyager 2, still operating at the fringes of the solar system, detected a brief, structured signal precisely aligned with the object's course. This transmission wasn't strong enough to constitute a message by human standards, but it exhibited spectral symmetries resembling harmonic lattices. Its coincidence with the object's movement indicated a direct connection, perhaps a signature of its passage or an intentional emission to test the solar system's response. In the days following the observation, an unexpected hypothesis gained traction among researchers. Some suggested that this might not have been the object's first visit to the solar system. Evidence from Phobos, one of Mars's moons, and even from Earth's geological record began to be re-examined under a new lens. Straight grooves on Phobos, unexplained magnetic anomalies, and historic mass extinctions and magnetic pole shifts on Earth were suddenly viewed as potentially cyclical, part of long-standing patterns of interaction with such objects. These theories proposed that the solar system might have been seeded with markers or nodes intended to interact with the object during rare flybys. The object's silence throughout its passage grew increasingly significant. Its complete absence of communication, propulsion exhaust, or detectable energy emissions wasn't a sign of oversight. It appeared deliberate, designed to avoid interference or misunderstanding. It passed through the solar system like a shadow, visible only to those capable of detecting it at the right moment, acting as a phenomenon rather than a visitor. A particularly haunting piece of data emerged from a radio telescope near Neptune. It recorded an unprecedented event, a brief split in the hydrogen line, a fundamental experimental radio emission from hydrogen atoms used to map the galaxy. This split lasted only seconds, but occurred exactly as the object's trajectory intersected the region. The phenomenon hinted at a temporary overlap between dimensions, a glimpse of another layer of reality intersecting with ours during the object's passage. More evidence continued to accumulate. Observatories tracking the outer reaches of the solar system recorded synchronized shifts in the positions of Kuiper Belt objects. Their movements displayed a pattern of displacements that resembled a ripple or wave traveling through the distant icy bodies. These changes didn't match gravitational interactions. Instead, they exhibited synchronized oscillations and orbital shifts with no known cause, all pointing toward the same conclusion. The object had influenced distant regions without direct contact. Perhaps the most mind-bending data came from a probe operating near the solar system's boundary. It recorded a temporal anomaly, a perfect copy of one of its own transmissions returning with an unexplained delay. This echo didn't match known reflection mechanisms, implying a distortion or folding of time itself. Scientists began to consider whether the object had been interacting with temporal dimensions in addition to spatial ones, not traveling through time in the traditional sense, but phasing through layers of it. Such a possibility redefined every aspect of the event. The object's speed, trajectory, and even its visible structure could have been artifacts of our limited perspective, viewing something multidimensional from a single time-bound framework. Its interaction with the solar system might not have been isolated, but a recurring event spanning vast cosmic timescales. Additional supporting evidence appeared in Antarctica, where isotopic spikes in beryllium-10 and carbon-14 were found in ice cores. These isotopes indicated a burst of high-frequency radiation originating within the solar system, coinciding precisely with the object's passage. This radiation didn't match solar flares or cosmic gamma bursts and left no lasting damage, but its precision suggested a targeted, localized effect. On the moon, seismic monitors recorded a faint harmonic tremor that wasn't caused by known processes. Mars experienced a similar phenomenon, detected by the InSight lander. The frequencies observed formed ratios consistent with musical harmonics, suggesting that the object had emitted a vibrational signal designed to interact with planetary structures. This raised the possibility that celestial bodies themselves might act as storage devices for long-term signals, only revealed when stimulated by specific triggers. As observatories aligned data from various instruments, they found further evidence in pulsar timing shifts outside the solar system. These shifts occurred precisely along the object's projected outbound vector, reinforcing the theory that it had altered the propagation of signals far beyond its physical presence. By this point, scientists realized they had witnessed more than just a high-speed transit through the solar system. They had observed an entity capable of manipulating time, space, quantum states, and planetary harmonics. It had navigated through the solar system not as an object bound by celestial mechanics, but as a phenomenon interacting with the fundamental architecture of reality itself. Its absence of overt intent, communication, or interaction belied a deeper sophistication, one that seemed to operate under principles so advanced that its goals and mechanisms remained utterly incomprehensible. The James Webb Space Telescope's accidental detection of this entity was a reminder of the fragile limitations of human observation. Had the telescope not been pointed precisely where it was, at the precise moment needed, the entire event might have passed unnoticed. What remained was the profound realization that the solar system was not isolated nor random. It was part of a larger, interconnected cosmic framework, observed and occasionally touched by entities far beyond current human understanding. What passed between Mars and Jupiter was not just an object, but a message in itself, one expressed through action, resonance, and subtle reconfiguration of the cosmos, leaving behind only whispers of its presence and a deepened sense of cosmic humility.